Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 34. I am Trevor and with me this week is Kyle. Hey mate, how are you?
Go mate, good thanks.
Thanks for coming on.
No worries.
Answering the call.
Pleasure.
With the domestic leagues here, the main sort of footy code's coming to an end. A little bit different this week. We're going to sort of branch into a few other things that we maybe haven't had much time for in the past. A little bit of NRL and QRL stuff here, but we're making that transition from our winter codes into summer and cricket seasons looming and stuff like that. But it's all about that American sport, mate.
The big one.
You've got some guts wearing that around here.
Mate, show off the goat whenever you can.
Yeah, there's another 12 that's the goat, mate. You got the wrong one.
No, there's only one.
Yeah, there's only one, alright. Everybody, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, we're on, what's the other one? Spotify, that's it. And so you can find us there. Please like the video, share it, and that stuff. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is a bit of football, soccer to some people, football to others. Australia, trying to make this World Cup. 11-game winning streak has come to an end on Tuesday night against Japan in Japan. The game was locked at 1-1 in the 85th minute. Australia has conceded an own goal. Japan got the better of us 2-1. Australia had an 11-game winning streak that's now over. And it turns out we have never beaten Japan in Japan. That's a bit of a hoodoo for us. And Japan and Australia got a lot of history in Asian football. They're our arch rival. Mate, did you check this one out at all?
No, I hadn't seen it.
No. So Australia, look, the World Cup in Qatar. Now, I don't know about you guys watching, but I remember where I was the day where FIFA announced that the World Cups were going to be in Russia and Qatar. If you remember, there was a guy called Sepp Blatter. Crooked as a day's long, and this was basically those two announcements of Russia and Qatar, especially Qatar, was just like the culmination of just years of corruption in FIFA, and that was just the part where you got your morning coffee and spat it out across the room and you just couldn't believe it, you know? So, but here we go, the Qatar World Cup is next year. For those of you who don't know, the World Cup will be played in November to December. It finishes about a week before Christmas. Very unusual. That is because it's too hot to play there in the normal time, right? The entire world's football leagues next season will have to be rescheduled with an interval in them, and then the following year as well, just to compensate for this stupid World Cup in Qatar, where the whole thing has to be played indoors in aircon or you're going to die. Right? Not to mention the Qatari government have said a lot of stuff about the LGBTQI community. They've got unskilled children working on the stadiums. The amount of people who've died in the constructions of this stuff. It is an awful thing. I'm going to struggle to support it, but it is the World Cup. So anyway. Australia with that first loss now are second in the group. Now with the group, we're in Group B. There's 6 teams. We play them all twice, so there's 10 games. And we are currently running second. Saudi Arabia are undefeated in first. That's the only game Australia haven't played yet. So it's up, that's our next match. It's a big game against Saudi Arabia, I believe, in Sydney. First and second get straight in, which is what you want, just straight in. Third goes into a playoff, which is currently Oman. So Saudi Arabia, Australia, Oman. Japan with that win have moved up to 4th. They've had some struggles early, so Japan really had to win that one. China in 5th and Vietnam in 6th. I would very much like to see China not make it.
Oh look, you've got to like our chances though, don't you, at the moment?
Yes. Now, with that, my big slander about the World Cup in Qatar, we'll say one thing, it's the last World Cup where we're having the traditional format of 32 teams, which has been the way for, God knows how long. It's the World Cup finals, right? FIFA, my favourite mob, in their wisdom, have decided that after this World Cup moving forward, there's going to be 48 teams instead of 32, and they're going to restructure the whole thing, and it's going to be 32 player knockout and so forth. Why would you go from 32 to 48 teams? Because teams like China don't make it. The money. The markets like India and China and those massive countries who don't make the thing, they want them in. What a time to be alive.
Money talks these days.
Money talks, especially in football. So anyway, Australia going well despite the loss. Be great to see them come back and knock off the top team in Sydney in Saudi Arabia. That one's in a few weeks, and Graham Arnold playing well. Coaching well, the team playing well. So yeah, good. Okay, let's quickly talk about the NRL, mate. The big news is the Dolphins. They have been confirmed as the 17th team in the NRL starting in 2023. Do you have an allegiance to any team in the QRL?
Look, I don't really follow the QRL a lot, but I am a Dolphins fan. My grandfather, we grew up at Redcliffe.
Yep.
My dad, my granddad were members since I was probably 5 years old.
Okay.
Love the Dolphins.
I know your brother is a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, love the Dolphins.
Okay, so is this... are you going to follow the Dolphins?
Look, going to be difficult to turn from the Sharks, but that being said, being a Brisbane Lions fan and getting to go to games, to have the opportunity to go to games, I think by 2023 I'll be a Dolphins fan.
That's interesting, yeah, because that's the big question that the NRL are kind of banking on is, yes, there's a lot of fans in Queensland, but they've got an allegiance pretty much already, whether it be to a Sydney club or the Broncos or whoever. So are we going to get people like yourself to jump ship and actually support this team, or are you going to say no? So that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think with that being said, if Cronulla were, a dynasty like the Melbourne Storm, how do you turn your back on winning? But I live in the Moreton Bay region, so it is my team.
So you live in the local area.
Yeah.
You're a fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
You're going to have home games readily available to you.
Yeah, so I can't see why I won't jump.
So hypothetically, there's 5 minutes to go. Dolphins and the Sharks. It's the marine life battle. There'll be fins everywhere. Where are you gonna fall?
Mate, if I'm at the game, I'll be in the red and white.
Wow,
so it'll be all about the Dolphins.
Interesting. You've heard it first. Well, that's if you're a litmus test for what's out there, then that's good news for the NRL because they're going to need people to follow this team, despite all of the financial backing. And the financial backing they have, apparently there's $50 million just sitting there ready to go. A lot of money.
And Wayne Bennett.
Well, that's it. So basically, you've got next year, well, starting from really November 1, I believe, is the trade period, where you've got a new franchise with $50 million ready to splurge around. You'd have a few players coming off contract with their eyes, lighting up. The worst kept secret is that they want Cameron Munster. Wayne Bennett, of course. And I think there's no one... Wayne Bennett, you can write that down now. I don't think there's any other coach even in the running, is there?
No, I haven't heard of anybody. No.
So you're going to have Wayne Bennett 99%. Now, I said last All Sports Weekly that I'd heard a rumour that the Storm were losing a bit of patience with Cameron Munster. Matt Tripp, who's the Storm CEO, has come out and made a public plea to Cameron Munster to remain in Melbourne and to resist the big money to head to the Dolphins, because I don't think the Storm can match the money. They stated that he'd be better placed to fight his battle with alcohol in Melbourne, where his support structure is. What do you think about that? Well, I've got a theory.
Sure.
Look, first I've heard of it that Cameron Munster has an alcohol problem. His support structure, I'm assuming, is his family and the club. They would move with him to Redcliffe or Brisbane or whatever. Is this a sort of a ploy to devalue him a little bit to Redcliffe and basically sort of to say, hey, there's a lot of trouble that goes with him? Because he's publicly come out and basically said that he's got some substance abuse problems. That's not very good.
No, for me, I think when you listen to some of the AFL players that have sort of moved away from Melbourne, moved to Brisbane, they love the anonymity of it all. I follow rugby league, I follow State of Origin. I probably couldn't pick Cameron Munster out of a lineup right now.
Right.
So if he did move to that sort of area, if he moved to this area, look, I think he would be able to stay under the radar, just get about life, not be drawn into things, with the crowds that he hangs out with. So if that is legit, I think it's going to help him. But yeah, very much they could just be trying to turn people off him.
Yeah, it's just interesting. And like you said just before, money talks, and it's just going to depend on how big that offer is. How much value do Redcliffe put on him? So, and with the name, they're going to be the Dolphins. They've announced they're not going to be the Redcliffe Dolphins. They're going to be the something Dolphins. The word is Moreton Bay. Moreton Bay Dolphins. You like the sound of that?
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Right thing to do?
Yeah.
So the competition goes from 192 games to 204 with this extra team. There's going to be a 26-round competition with 2 buys per team as opposed to the current setup. Just quickly, Is this a good move for the NRL in general? Is this good?
Look, bringing the Dolphins in, great idea. Having buys, horrible.
Well, you got an odd number of teams now, though.
Yeah, there's no team in WA, there's no team in Adelaide. You're telling me you couldn't support one more team and bring in 2 teams?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan, though. They want that 18th team.
Yeah, but no, look, I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, okay. Bit of breaking news, sad news actually in the NRL is that Rugby League's 13th immortal Norm Provan has died today, aged 89. Provan was the cornerstone of St George's record-breaking 11 premierships. If you can picture the NRL trophy, he's the tall fella that's been immortalised in the trophy. And he's died after a long battle with poor health. Absolute legend, gentle giant, an ornament to the game. So thoughts to Provan and his family. Sad news.
Yeah, tragic.
Quickly changing to QRL, the grand final has been won by Norths against the gallant winner Manly team against a pretty good crowd at Redcliffe. 16-10. It came down to the wire. Well, North's just a bit too good on the day. They lost 1 game all season, mate. Pretty good.
Decent effort, deserved as winners.
Now, I looked at the Broncos feeder clubs. They are Norths, Winner Manly, and South Logan. Now, 2 of those 3 teams played in the grand final. One of them lost 1 game all year. The Broncos recruitment, we've laughed at it for a while. Are any of these Norths or Winner Manly players even on their radar? I wonder.
I wouldn't think so.
Why? You wouldn't think so?
No, well, look, they're too busy trying to chase big money players that they think are absolute superstars. Didn't work with Jack Bird. Didn't work with a couple of players now. And while Kevin Walters is the coach, they're going to finish bottom 4.
Because they've got salary cap problems. So these young players promoted from the league down would be essential, in my opinion. Benny Eiken's a smart fella, so let's just see. But if you've got a QRL club that's lost 1 game all year, you can't tell me there's not 1 or 2 guys there that can't play NRL.
Oh, look, I think there's plenty of players that could probably do it and step up for them, but whether they're prepared to put that sort of on the line.
There'll probably be 4 of them running around for the Storm next year on $300,000.
Look, it just seems with the attitude these days, you can buy 3 great players and that'll run your team for you, but it doesn't work like that.
We're going to quickly change tack and talk about a little baseball, mate. A bit of Major League Baseball as the playoffs are well and truly underway. Getting closer to the World Series, which obviously is a big deal. Obviously you got two leagues, guys. You got the American League and the National League. Now with the American League, the Red Sox knocked out the Yankees in the Red Sox and the Yankees is one of the most bitter rivalries in world sport. That's like Israel and Palestine, that is, you know what I mean? So Red Sox knocked out the Yankees. They then went on and through Tampa Bay, beat them 3-1, and they'll now take on the Houston Astros in the American League Championship game. The money's on Houston, but the Red Sox, how many World Series have they won? Heaps. So they've got pedigree. They know a thing or two about winning playoffs. So you've got the Red Sox and the Astros there. And the National League, with the LA Dodgers, who are the current champions, snuck into the playoffs, went to the wild card, beat St. Louis Cardinals. They're now 2-2, and tomorrow Australian time will take on the San Francisco Giants. That's 2-2. That's the deciding game. The winner will then take on the Atlanta Braves in the National League Championship game. Now, do you have a team in the MLB, mate?
I haven't watched Major League Baseball for a while, but I am a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
Phillies?
Yeah,
I think
they just missed out this year.
Okay.
They were going alright.
I'm a New York Mets supporter and they were poor. They're in the National League and they never looked like making the playoffs. So, watch this space. We might try to touch base on that playoff update in a couple of weeks when it gets a bit closer. NFL.
The pinnacle.
The pinnacle of American sport. Week 5 is over, some massive games. 5 games, still early season, but we're starting to get a little bit of a feel. Now, I just want to quickly mention the divisions and you just put in your 2 bob, okay? Let's start with NFC West, which is the most powerful division in the league. Agree?
Yep.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals, the only team who haven't lost a game, which is pretty impressive after 5 games. The Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. Any thoughts on the NFC West? Rams
will win it. Look, Cardinals look good and look way better than I thought they'd be. but I just don't think they've got the package to go on and continue winning. The Rams, they are just a powerhouse, offense, defense. Great team last year, stepped up at quarterback this year. Rams are red hot.
The Rams defense though hasn't clicked yet. That's the worry. We're meant to have the defense is meant to be a given, and then it was all about can Matthew Stafford do anything. He's actually holding up his end of the bargain, but our D is just letting in a lot of points.
Yeah, look, I don't know how you guys took on the preseason. Packers had 36 players rested for the whole preseason. If you did the same, it could just be a matter of not gelling yet. But I still expect the Rams to be dominant.
The Rams have a softer run now. There's no easy games, but we have a bit of a run of lower ranked teams, so we'll see.
Oh, look, confidence builds wins as well.
But with Seattle and 49ers, all four of those teams could play playoffs, like really.
Look, theoretically, if they stayed healthy, I agree. But Seattle, they've lost Wilson now for up to 6 weeks. They're gone.
Yeah.
49ers, without a decent quarterback, they're gone.
Yeah, so you think it's out of the Rams and the Cardinals?
Personally, I don't even think the Cardinals come midway through the season. I think the Rams will have a 3-4 game lead.
Yeah, but I think that's the sort of division where two teams will get through. It's just the strength of that
Based
division.
on the strength of the other divisions, yeah.
Yeah. NFC North.
Oh, Packers by default, and that's not because we're great. It's because everybody else is rubbish.
Bears, Vikings, and the hapless Detroit.
Yeah.
Poor old Detroit. Did you see that field goal? It was like Detroit were in the lead to finally win the game the other day, and I forget who they were playing. Was going for the longest field goal of all time, and it goes and doinks on the crossbar and goes in. That's just Detroit, isn't it?
Yeah, story of their life.
But I have to agree. You guys have got that division sewn up. I actually think Minnesota aren't too bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Kirk Cousins he just hasn't done what they thought he was going to do. They've got no better under Kirk Cousins.
The news from the NFC East is the Cowboys are a lot better than people thought they would be. Do you agree with that?
Look, they look great and they look better than what I thought they'd be. That being said, from experience, they got Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, but they're running the football, and Dallas haven't really run the football well since probably Emmitt Smith, I reckon. And if the season ended today, I reckon Dak Prescott's the MVP. He's playing out of his skin.
Yeah, no, look, he's playing very, very well, especially coming back from injury.
In a weak division, Dallas are going to be up there at the point.
And their defensive player, I can't think of his name, but 7 interceptions already this season? Yeah. So just phenomenal numbers. So, no, look, they do look legit.
NFC South, you got this guy called Tom Brady running the Buccaneers. Had a decent week with 400 pass yards and 5 touchdowns the other day.
That was against the Dolphins, a non-team.
405.
Oh, come on.
Not bad.
That's like me and you playing kids down the street.
Okay. You rate the Dolphins that highly. But looking around, Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, I think they've got that one wrapped up. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Now, AFC a little bit harder to read. Tennessee in the South. With Houston, the Colts, and the Jags. Colts stole defeat from the jaws of victory against Baltimore the other day.
Look, Colts for me probably the biggest disappointment in the league. They were decent last year. Great offensive line. Really thought they would step up.
They got Walker to him Wentz.
But he's a good quarterback when he's healthy.
I think
they've just fallen apart all over the place.
Wentz has lost something mentally.
Yeah, look, I thought getting back with his offensive coordinator from Philly, he would sort of get back into it again. But no, look, I think he just knows he's injured every second game.
The minute Philly preferred him over Foles, something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. They would love that decision again. So it's a fairly weak division, I have to say. But that can't be said for the AFC East. Well, the division itself, you've got the Dolphins and the Jets. But you've also got the Bills, who look like they could win everything this year.
Freak show at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, 70 odd points or maybe 80 points in the last 2 weeks they've put up.
And the Patriots hanging in there around that sort of they're 2 and 3, and they're not terrible, but they're not great.
Yeah, no, but look, there's already stories that they might be tanking the season. They got rid of Steph Gilmore.
Tanking? Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that, would he?
Well, you never know.
That sounds like something Green Bay do.
Only to get rid of McCarthy.
Now, Chargers here have taken everyone by surprise in the AFC West, and their young quarterback, is it Herbert?
Yeah, Herbert.
How good.
Look, did good last year, and this year just continued.
Looks great.
You know, it was a bit like that Dak Prescott and Ezekiel. When they came out of college, you didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then they figured you out. He's just coming on in leaps and bounds.
He looks great. And for some reason, I don't really rate the Chargers, but I've had to reevaluate that because they are actually all right.
Yeah.
And now the Raiders. Now, until 2 days ago. I thought the Raiders were a pretty good shot. And for those of you who don't know, the NFL world's been rocked by the sacking of coach John Gruden, who is a very well-liked person. He's a big figure in the game. He was a commentator for many years and just seemed to be a very well-liked guy. Leaked emails, 7 years of... He basically insulted everyone. Racism, transphobic, homophobic. He was bullying, harassing people. It's bad. He's got nowhere to go. I know you've quite liked him, you've liked his commentary, you thought he was a good coach. 4 years into a 10-year deal that was worth $100 and something million, all gone. Those emails are going to cost him about $60-70 million. But more to that, his name and stature have been just destroyed. I don't think there's anything that you can say good about it. And now you just have to wonder, which way do the Raiders go? Because they were building. Are they done?
Look, they're done. They're finished. Yeah.
I don't know his name. The special teams coach is going to take over.
Yeah.
But it could galvanise them though.
Look, I don't know. I just think Gruden's got that energy behind him to bring the players, and the players play for Gruden. I don't know. I think this is going to break them.
Denver Broncos in third. Now the reigning, the runners up last year and the favourites with the bookies, Kansas City, fourth in the division on 2 and 3, makes me feel good. Their defense is a big problem.
Yeah, massive.
And I don't know what they're going to do.
No, look, it's the sole reason I tipped Buffalo last week was purely not that I thought Buffalo might win the game, but I knew that there's no way the Chiefs would stop the points that Buffalo can put up.
AFC North, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. Don't write off Cleveland. Ben Roethlisberger looks washed up, but they'll probably jag a win here or there. Bengals, bit of a banana peel. Looks like it's Baltimore's division. Would you agree with that?
Baltimore will win the division for sure.
Yeah.
Whether they can go on with it, who knows?
Keep an eye out for next week's games. I reckon the 3 games of the round, Cardinals at the Browns, the Cowboys at the Patriots. Let's see if the Cowboys can go up in the cold and do it up there. And Seahawks at Steelers, big games for those 2 teams, mate. Mm-hmm. Rams for the title.
Well, look, at this point in time, Rams-Bills for the Super Bowl, I think. I think the Packers will play the Rams in the championship, but I think Rams-Bills for the Super Bowl. Who wins? Well, I think it'll be defensive.
Boxing, haven't got much time, but just quickly, one of the greatest heavyweight fights in recent memory has taken place last weekend in Nevada. Tyson Fury has defended his WBC heavyweight title against Deontay Wilder. This was Fury Wilder 3. The first meeting was a controversial draw. The second meeting, Fury had a 7th round TKO. Everyone thought this one, Fury had it. It was one of the best fights you've seen. Did you catch this one?
Seen the highlights of it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was like out of a Rocky movie, guys. Round 3, Fury knocks down Wilder. Wilder looks almost done. Round 4, Wilder comes back, knocks Fury down twice in one round. Fury hanging on for his life. Then the middle rounds, you'd have to say Fury probably on top, just getting the points card ahead. Round 10, Fury knocks down Wilder. Wilder gets straight up. Looked like so that now you're at 4 knockdowns. The doctor was checking on Wilder before each round, thinking about stopping it, particularly in the 9th. Wilder's not having a bar of it. Comes out, an uppercut from Fury rocks Wilder, knocks him out. Fury goes to a 31 win, 0 loss, 1 draw record. At 33 years of age, the Gypsy King, he's worth $120 million personally. He's got some big fights coming up. It was like something out of a Rocky movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a war.
Yeah, no, brilliant fight.
So he's got the WBC. The boxing world want to see a unification bout against Alexander Usyk. However, Usyk's going to have that rematch with AJ, Anthony Joshua. So some interest in the heavyweight ranks, which is great. Let's talk quickly about some Formula One. Your passion. 6 races to go.
Yep.
The USA Grand Prix next weekend. The standings, Verstappen's on top. What's going on? Before the season, we thought it was going to be Hamilton by a mile. What's happening? What's happening in this?
It's just Red Bull. Look, their issues in the last couple of years has been reliability. If they finished races, they always finish top 3, but they just weren't finishing races. This year, they're there at the end of the race. Verstappen, first 86 races of his career, 3 pole positions. This year, 8. So their car is on point. He's putting it where it needs to be. And look, I think he's matured too. He's not trying to win every race on the first corner now. So he's playing the
racing
long
a bit smarter. Because the thinking was with the new regs next year that there might not be much car progression, but that seems to be not the case.
No, Mercedes and Red Bull haven't given up yet. The rest of the teams, I think, have. They've conceded. They know this year's over, so they're building for next year. But no, these two will go down to the wire. They want that team's championship.
Now, boy Ricciardo's in 8th. Listen to the tape last time you were on. You still said he could get into 5th. I know he has won a race. 6 races to go. Mate, to get into 5th, he's 40 points off that. I think it's fair to say that's not happening.
No, look, probably not. He would need some rain-affected tracks, something to slow the sort of top cars down so that he can get where he needs to get. And then he just needs to quali a bit better. His biggest issue this year is he just hasn't qualified well.
When we were talking last, you were saying you didn't think Australia would be able to host a Grand Prix in March 2022 with COVID. But now we're a bit further down the line, and I'm starting to think it's actually going to be fine.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they try and push it back a little bit later, but ideally, personally, I want the first race of the season. But no, look, I think you're right. The vaccination numbers in Melbourne are going through the roof.
Yeah.
Australian Open's still going ahead in January, so I don't see why this won't.
I don't think that people who are COVID vaccinated, testing negative, need to be quarantining for 14 days anymore to stop the spread of a virus that's running wild anyway. You're kidding yourself, really, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly right.
I think Australia's thinking is going to change on that one. And, I'm heartened by that because it looks like the 2022 Grand Prix season might be back to what we expect. Australia with the first race, and it'll just
be... New regs.
New cars, a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Bring it on,
Yeah, cracker.
Yeah, nice one. Returning segment is Kyle Kicks Off. Kyle, what are you kicking off about? Don't be Tom Brady.
No, look, Trev, it's pathetic sports fans who'd rather win a footy tipping competition than support their team.
Dude, go on.
You've got a team, support them. If you choose to back against your team, you're therefore cheering for your team to lose. It's disgraceful. I'd rather go down kicking and screaming, cheering for my team than win a footy competition.
So I'm with you, except for I have in my life supported some pretty shit teams. Parramatta come to mind. Now, Parramatta's won a couple of spoons. If you're going to have a tipping comp and pick Parramatta every week, you will also get the spoon, as I did about 4 years ago.
Mate, I pick Cronulla every game and I will not pick the Brisbane Broncos.
Really?
I still can win tipping competitions.
Didn't you say you won the tipping comp at your work?
I did.
And you picked Cronulla every week?
Every game, and Broncos never, which is good at the moment. It's helping me.
Yeah, that's good, I guess. So you're saying tip with the heart.
Tip with the heart. When it's your team, you gotta cheer against them.
I'm going to remember that. If you better be tipping Green Bay all year.
Check the stats, mate. They don't lie.
Okay. And are you aiming that at any one person? Would it be Brendan Brimacombe, Scott Hayter?
Brimacombe, Scott Hayter, Lenny Masters. It's disgusting.
Nice one. One hot minute. Has the Brisbane Lions premiership window closed?
No, it's wide open.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Injury-free, we win it this year.
Interesting.
I'll put the bet on now.
If Lachie Neale had left?
I don't think it affects us. I think we're so strong in the midfield. I can't remember the numbers now, but every game he didn't play this year, we won.
Okay. Toby Green, his suspension's been revised to 5 games. Like it? Don't like it?
I love it. Love it. Yep. The more the better for Toby Green. He's absolute grub.
I thought 3 was light.
Yeah. Oh, look, for touching a ref, you need to show these people that just can't be done.
It's pretty weird. He got 3 weeks. The AFL themselves appealed it, but they did it after the granny.
Yeah.
It's under the rug.
No, they were trying to give GWS that time through the finals to focus on finals, but it happened when it happened. The result should have been when they looked into it.
Their best player now won't play till round 6 next year. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Are Penrith now the most hated NRL side?
Oh.
In my day growing up, it was Manly.
Yeah, no.
But I don't know anymore. Manly are pretty likeable.
I don't hear a lot of people talking about Penrith though. Manly, people still hate Manly. Manly and Collingwood, 2 most hated teams in Australia.
I reckon Penrith have got more grubs than Don Burke's garden. Who is a bigger grub, speaking of grubs? Lewis Hamilton or David Warner?
Oh, look.
Worlds colliding.
Lewis Hamilton. He's just a compulsive sook. Look, the race just gone. As soon as it didn't go his way, he blamed his team for everything.
Yeah. Will Aaron Rodgers retire at the end of his current deal, which is the end of next season?
No, he'll stay with Green Bay Packers 5 more years. Packers will wake up to themselves, realise that
500
there's nobody else better than Aaron Rodgers.
Lol. Are the Jacksonville Jaguars actually worse than the New York Jets?
Yes. Purely based on coach alone.
Right. Will Trevor Lawrence get a win?
He'll get a win this
He'll
year.
get a win.
It's hard to lose every game.
He'll get a win this week.
Who they got?
They're in London playing the Dolphins.
He'll win that. First win.
That's all we got time for. Another great week. Appreciate you coming on, mate.
Nah, love it. Thanks, mate.
Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great week.